Well, this movie was about as dead as its clowns with its pacing. What's going on, guys? Welcome to 31 Days of Horror. I am Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. Dead Clowns came out in 2003, which is kind of funny to think that's almost 20 years ago. And this is a random discovery that I just saw at the video store. I think it was like $6, so I picked it up for 31 Days of Horror. I think zombies and clowns are both pretty awesome to include in horror movies, so combining them together sounded like a really fun time. Unfortunately, this film is definitely not paced very well. It is slow like molasses for 45 minutes, and this thing is like an hour and 34 minutes long. Cutting 20 minutes off of this movie would be so beneficial for this film. It would make it so much better if you kept this at about an hour 15. An hour 14, something like that. I've watched great movies in this 31 Days of Horror that were that long or shorter sometimes, and it actually benefited the film a lot. But yeah, it's just, there's really nothing going on until the clowns show up, and they take forever to show up. And, it's just one of those things where the last 20 minutes are great, but waiting for it is just, you have to have something going on while like before the clowns show up, while you're waiting for the actual gore shit to happen, right? Positives for this movie is that the clowns look good. I mean, they got a really impressive makeup team for the clowns. I mean, they look like dirty. They look rotten because these clowns were rotting in the river wherever they were for over 40 years, and they look like they have been decomposing for a hell of a long time, and they look cool. So one of them has like a complete dent on his head, the one that shows up closer to the like one of the first clowns to show up, and so I mean the makeup team and the effects team were good. So a lot of the money definitely went there, which is the weird thing. Like with a better script and more going on and a better screenplay kind of thing, which is free to do, it would just benefit the movie so much more. And if they just had the characters be more interesting, do more shit. I didn't even take that many names down because unless I'm an idiot and miss them, or if they mention the people's names like once, I didn't really know anybody's name. There's Kimberly, which is, she has a name, it starts with an A, her position, but I forget what it is. She's some kind of equivalent of mayor of the town. This takes place in like a boating town called Port Emmett in Florida. And then I took down another name named Timmy, which is a character that's in a wheelchair, and again doesn't get barely anything to do until he's killed. The most interesting characters in this film were this couple who basically were running away from whatever state they were from because they killed a priest. And the girl's hilarious. They're both very like metalhead goth kind of look to them. And the girl is, she's always appreciating the murder so much. She keeps talking about it over and over. And she's like, "Oh my god, that was so cool. You like totally shot that priest. Oh my god, I think I got a piece of his brain in his hair. It's so on my hair. It's so cool. Oh my god, there's blood sprayed everywhere all over the walls. It's so cool." And she's just acting as if she's so childish over this murder. It's so sick, like funny sick. It made me laugh. And the guy's cool, and their characters were given the most development compared to everybody else. Everybody else just is there. There's this guy at a movie theater, the Port Emmett movie theater, and he's snorting cocaine, and I guess he's like the guard for the night or something like that. I don't know, or maybe he owns it or something. I don't know what he's doing there, but he's there until he's killed later on. There's this couple that they're visiting the town because the woman grew up there, and she tells the backstory of what happened was in 1954 there was this traveling circus, and they came into town during a hurricane, so they were going over a bridge and they were basically blown over into the bay. And there was a train wreck as well, and it was just this huge tragedy in Port Emmett in 1954. And then the clowns in this traveling circus were buried alive pretty much, or drowned. And the town never gave them a memorial. They just completely forgot about this tragedy because they never wanted to speak about it again. They buried it in the past, and they never talked about it again. They didn't even give up a memorial. They didn't even build anything. They didn't even make a sign, nothing. They just completely forgot and pretend it never happened, kind of thing. And years later, almost half a century later, these clowns come back for revenge. I learned a new word from this movie, actually. Calliope, which is an instrument which they use in circuses, the organ style instrument. Never knew what it was till this movie, so learned something new from this movie. That's another positive I can take away. But yeah, its pacing, it makes it hella boring for the majority of the runtime, and I just wish they could do a lot more with it. Till the clowns show up, it's really, really boring. There is no character development, like, except for the biggest ones is that couple that I mentioned, that Chut the priest. They're the most interesting, even though you don't really root for them for anything because they're horrible people. At least they're funny and comical in a sick way. I gave it 1 out of 5, unfortunately. Probably 19 out of 100. Why out of 100? Because I hate decimals. It's nothing that I'm gonna get rid of or anything. I'll definitely be giving this film another watch. It is super, super low budget, but like I said, they spent their money on good things such as the clowns themselves, and what they could have done for no cost is write a better screenplay. And I don't know. Well, it was written by the same guy who directed it, so again, no offense. It's just my review and my take on the film. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I understand budget restraints and everything, and with the budget restraints, a lot of things actually were done really well with the budget restraints, especially in its first 45 minutes. It's just really, really, really little going on, and I don't know why some of the characters didn't even come back, or if they did, were killed very, very fast. And yeah, there's this great scene where this guy gets his arm chopped off, and the way they did the effect looks really good. It's really gross because these clowns are also cannibalistic, so they eat a lot of their victims, or parts of their victims. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The clowns look great. The gore, when it is on screen, is good, and there's a lot of, dead clowns chomping on people. Obviously, they're cannibalistic. Duh, they're zombies. Jesus Christ, Dex. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Dead Clowns, 2003. If you like your low-budget schlock and if you like your B-movies, I'd say check it out. Just know what you're getting into, and I wish there was a little bit more going on in this film. It's decent for especially the second half of it, and yeah, that's pretty much what I got on Dead Clowns. So, subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for that. Check out what's on the channel so far, and next review is going to be the last, so stay tuned. Until then, have a good one, take care, and cheers.